shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Whispers turn to thunderous roar. As shadows creep, he slams the door on tyranny's cruel, grasping hand. He fights for freedom, takes a stand. With courage born of darkest night, he ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Break the chains, set spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello, everybody. How you all doing? Now, how is the audio? Because I'm using some new technology today. I got some donations. People asked me to buy new equipment. So I got some radio mics, some wireless radio mics. I'll just switch on the camera so I can show you. There we go. Choose the other one, webcam. There we go. I got some wireless microphones with the donations I got, so they go come in handy. I hope the audio is okay. Is the audio all right? Just give me a thumbs up if you think the audio is okay. Might need to turn up a little bit. There we go. Is that all right? Is that better? Sound seems okay. Okay. I've got a little radio mic on, so yeah, hopefully it sounds a bit better than it has been of late. I tried putting my audio through the phone and it overheats the phone. It really makes it go warm. So these were a necessity. Also, it's going to help me when I'm out and about as well. Got some of those little covers for it as well as little furry covers, so it'll stop the wind noise. I'll show you some other stuff that I bought as well. This is for the out and about stuff that's coming up, the projects. So I got a 4K little gimbal camera. See that? I got that as well. Kind of a backup camera in case the battery runs out on one of the ones. Preparing all the stuff. Nice one. Like to see that. I've got some other equipment as well. Got some. This was a necessity. This is an absolute necessity because for all of those of you that remember, at the beginning of the year, I went to the Communist Gala and my phone was stolen. This is a necessity. So this allows me to lock my phone into this so it can't be snatched. And it's a lot harder to snatch your phone from something like this than it is from a selfie stick. So it's all about gearing up and getting ready to go out and do the job that needs to be done. This was part of it as well. This is like a little handheld thing that you hold your camera when you're doing live streams and stuff. So it's all going to help the content of the channel improve the quality, which, like I said, as the channel grows, so does the technology. That's how these things go. So I hope the sound's okay. Right, let's have a look at some of the comments. So I know RJ is a little bit concerned. Look at this. We're in trouble, people. You guys here know this, but what the F is wrong with everyone else? They're just asleep. They're just totally asleep, aren't they? They're oblivious, putting their heads in the sand and just hoping this all goes away, which it isn't going to do. Unfortunately, it's just going to continue to get worse with the Starmer regime in power. And I keep saying it, after this budget, the next budget that comes up, there's going to be a lot of struggling people out there. Next year, next April, when all these new things come into effect, there's going to be a lot of struggling people. We're going to see a lot of small businesses go out of business, and even the bigger businesses are starting to struggle. I've heard the local warehouses near me are cutting shifts to cut down on their energy bills, basically because they can't afford to keep the lights on in the building. And these are big distribution centres. Now, if they're struggling, imagine how the little smaller businesses are doing. It's not looking good. So just make sure the clips are good enough. That's bad. I got one of those backup cameras, but when I last used it at the local migrant hotel, it didn't work. They use it as a moron. I'm not so sure about that, Steve. You're quite clued up on a lot of things, mate. Well, they say wake up at Xmas. Yeah, I think it's going to be the next budget, mate, when people are going to wake up to what's going on in this country. Thank you, Joe James. That's awesome. Glad to hear that the sound is okay. That's what I like to hear. Right, let's look at some news, shall we? Because this is the big one. Now, somebody in my comments today asked if I was going to cover this on the live stream today, and I said yes. Let's get into it. Let's share the screen. Yeah, that's the one. Just making sure I've got the right one up before I share it. Right, so if you don't already know, well, we've known this for a long time. We've known this for a long time, that the illegal immigrants have been getting free healthcare on us because it isn't free. This is what a lot of people mistakenly think, especially people in America. They think we have free healthcare. It's not free. We pay for it out of our taxes. It's free at the point of access, so you don't have to pay any money. That's all it is. But collectively, as a group of people in this country, we pay for the NHS out of our tax. So whenever we need to go in for treatment or anything, we should be able to go straight in and be treated. But because of the influx of new arrivals, the illegal immigrants, that has put immense pressure on our infrastructure over the years, and the waiting lists for the NHS have become insane. This is not good when you've got new people in the country that are ushered to the front of the queue, when you've got your own indigenous people that have paid into the system for those years being put at the back of the queue after they've been waiting for maybe years and years and years and years to be seen for an operation or something, just for a new arrival to jump ahead of the queue in front of you and be seen first. You can imagine how a lot of people are angry at that. So we'll just watch this by GB News. I'm not going to watch all of it because I don't want to get copyrighted, but we're just going to look at the facts and figures part of this, and then we'll go and look at some other footage about this as well. I do warn you, this is most likely going to make your blood boil. It made my blood boil. It really did, because this is what we're paying for out of our taxes. we're paying for a service we can't use, basically.
Get ready to get very angry because asylum seekers are getting free prescriptions, free eye tests, discounted glasses, free dental, free wigs, even free travel. Yeah, free wigs, even free travel to and from.
Is that for the disguisers? Are they getting like twirly moustaches as well with the wigs?
From their appointments. Well, it's not free, is it? Because we're all paying. We are all paying. You're paying. Now, if you're on a low income, you can get a free NHS pass, which helps you out with stuff like that. But 59% of those passes in the last 5 years have gone to asylum seekers. That's nearly 1 million. It's nearly 1 million. And get this, another 317,000 have gone to people who were here legally as well, which is remarkable. Now, I'm not sure why they need it. It does seem as though they've got doctors and nurses in a lot of their migrant hotels anyway.
There were concerns too about adding.
Right, so that's the facts and figures side of things regarding everything. Yeah, I'm going to be showing that in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to be showing that. Have you seen that? That's the next thing I'm going to be showing. Budget is the 20th of November. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be showing next. There's another video I'm showing first, but I'll be showing that one next. Graham J, I haven't heard that though my local Morrison's lost part of its decorative glass structure in the last game. Okay, I don't know what that's all about, but okay. Yep, it's coming up next, AJ. Well, let's have a look at it. RJ, sorry. So this isn't the, I just want to show this one first.
I've worked here for 13 years. Okay, we're up into 7-8 hours waiting to be seen, and I'm now down to my night staff. There's 3 of us. I've also got ambulances coming in and people already in the department waiting to be seen. We will try to see all of you, but I can't tell you when that's going to be and how long you're going to be waiting. If you need pain relief, you can come and ask us. If you feel that you can wait until the morning, then I can't promise it's going to be much better. But otherwise, we'll do what we can. I'm just very sorry. I've worked here for 13 years. Okay, we're up into 7-8 hours waiting to be seen, and I'm now down to my night staff. There's 3 of us.
So basically, that's stop that. That's basically a doctor coming out and telling people that they won't be seen. Look, our NHS is completely on its knees. A&E overflowing. This doctor literally has to tell people they will not be seen, but illegal migrants are pushed to the front of the queue. And this is where this next video comes in. Let's have a look at some of the comments first. Anybody else commenting? But yeah, that's what we're dealing with in this country. A doctor has to come out to A&E and basically tell people they won't be seen because they're down to the last few staff. But if illegal immigrants want to be seen, they're ushered straight into the front of the queue, to the detriment of the people that have been waiting for hours. This is the state of our country. Everything is 2-tier now. We have 2-tier judiciary, we have a 2-tier justice system, we have a 2-tier NHS. That's the way, that's how things have gone in this country. I'm just going to check out and see if I can find that the other video that I want to look at. Let's see if we can find it. We've got lots to talk about today. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, found it. Right. Now it's set up. Right, we'll share that now. 2-tier policing, yes, RJ, definitely 2-tier policing, mate. Right, so look at this. Right, so this is from British Intel. The video itself is from BB Audits. So credit to that guy. Go and watch the original video, BB Audits. Right, so it says here, 40 illegal migrants taken for TB scans at Braintree Hospital. Around 40 illegal migrants from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sudan, Afghanistan were taken from the Wethersfield migrant camp to Braintree Hospital for X-rays, MRI scans to check for tuberculosis, TB. NHS resources diverted from British patients, migrants fast-tracked for private medical screenings, public outrage growing as waiting lists hit record highs. Our hospitals should prioritise British taxpayers first, not those who arrived here illegally. There's nothing you can argue on there, is a legal check, commentary on NHS resource allocation and immigration policy, compliant with the UK law. Right, okay. Let's watch this then.
Oh, and there's like 40 of you booked in today, isn't there? How you doing, my friend? You alright? Yeah, you from the Weathersfield hair base too? Yeah.
One person missing? Yeah. Only about 1%.
Yeah. What? One more?
Yeah.
But there's 40 of you coming today, isn't there? Been told. No.
Only one person missing. Okay. Wait, one more.
Well, there's 5 of yous. Oh, 5 of yous. Oh. Sorry. So,
there was a 6th person.
I won't get you on the camera, sorry.
That's right. There was a 6th person who travelled on their own, but
Yeah.
they've been and gone on their own.
Yeah, because there's 40 of them booked in today. I'm facing this away from you. But there's 40 of them was booked in today.
There was some first thing this morning.
Yeah.
And those that are here now.
Oh, because I was told like 4 p.m. today that was booked in for. And they're coming over for TB because a lot of them have got TB apparently, and they're coming over for X-rays for TB.
Right.
And
okay.
that. And like I just thought like people need to know really like in the area and all that.
It just makes you sick, doesn't it? Makes you sick. I agree, 2-tier NHS. I've been waiting on and off for over 16 months, yeah. And yet these people just walk straight in and straight into the door and get seen. They've actually got medics and doctors on site in some of these illegal immigrant hotels as well, dentists as well. We've been on a waiting list for an NHS dentist for over like 4 years. We've got to wait for a place, yet these people, straight on the doorstep, bang, you're in, you get your teeth sorted out straight away. On us, by the way, on us. And if we had to go and if we have anything wrong with our teeth in the meantime, we have to go privately and pay for it. We don't get any help from the government or anything like that. It's all on us. This is just so wrong on so many levels that our resources are being allocated to these people who shouldn't even be here. It's just so annoying. Got to say, I saw similar in London back in the late 90s. 8-hour wait for a pregnant registrar, and a mate with perfect appendix. The boss got him seen privately before he died of sepsis. That was very 2-tier. Even NHS filling is 120 quid. Yeah. You don't get it for free. You have to still pay for it partially. That's what mine's for, dentist. Wait till the guy comes in to reception when he realises his wife who had cancer realises what's going on. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Right, let's play the rest of the video.
What's actually going on? 'Cause I document like the migrant hotels and the protests and everything what's going on.
Right.
So, but obviously you can't give out information. I understand that. But is there any more booked in today?
Excuse me, love, if that's the case, my wife's just getting over cancer. So her immune system is zilch at the moment. I don't need to be... Do you understand what I'm saying?
Don't want to get this on my phone, but like, good. Right. So, so what?
You're not supposed to film anything.
No, that's why I'm not filming you or anything like that. But this is what it is, yeah. So they are closing the facility today for illegals to be seen. They were due to have MRI scans and X-rays on Saturday when the protest was taking place, but that was postponed because of to today. They are having x-rays because it's been reported that they are expected to have TB, and many do have. They are pushing.
How sick is that? This is the first time I'm watching this, by the way. I've collected because I wanted deliberately to watch it with you guys. So basically, they've shut a hospital department so illegals can be seen. So people have been waiting for appointments for months, have had their appointments cancelled because these people need to be seen on just like that. I'm speechless. I really am. I mean, a lot of people say, I mean, you've got all the lefties coming out saying, oh, the NHS is underfunded. It's not underfunded. It's just a money pit. If they got everything under control, if they got rid of all, if they cut all the fat they didn't need in the NHS, like these diversity, equity, inclusion managers, all this woke bullshit that they spend the money on, all these managers and managers of sub-managers and managers who manage the managers and all this kind of crap. It's just an absolute scam. I've said this in previous live streams. The NHS would be a lot better if they reverted back to just having matrons on the wards that run everything, that just answer to the doctors and run the wards. They don't need managers. They don't need diversity, equity, and inclusion managers. They don't need woke advisory managers. They just need to look after people, cut the fat from the service, and it would be a lot better. And obviously, we need to start prioritising British people for appointments and within the NHS. After all, these are the people that paid in all their life through their taxes, and now they're being told that their appointments are cancelled because people who've just come to the country have got priority over them. How sickening is that? You know, for some people, I mean, this guy's wife has got cancer. The treatment could literally mean life or death, couldn't it? To be seen by a doctor to correct some sort of treatment, because if they don't, it's her life. But no, the ward's been closed today because they've got to see these people. Let's look at, I wrote a strong letter to my hospital after they were giving me the runaround. I told them I would take it to higher level if they did not contact me. The next day, I got an appointment. Yep, it's just a case. And I would say contact your local MP. That might work for some people. For me, it won't, because my local MP is Toby Perkins, a total woke pillock who is useless. So, yeah. BD Audits, think he does a great job. He does do a great job. And, you know, hands up to the guy for doing it. These are the sort of people we need. This is what journalism used to be about. This is what investigative journalism is all about. It's going in there with a camera and pointing at these people and demanding answers from them. That's what investigative journalism is. That's what we need more of. That's what the mainstream media stopped doing. All we've got now on a night is they just shove an activist in front of a camera and just spouts out their opinion of what's happening. And we get a twisted Joseph Goebbels version of the news from the mainstream media, where they omit facts and they push a narrative instead of just blatantly absolutely reporting on the news as it happens, instead of the way they think it's happened or giving their slant on it. That doesn't happen anymore. Thank you. They also said to me in the letter that you can always go private. We know that's what they want. Yeah. Why would you want to go private when you've paid in all your life for your taxes to have the NHS free at point of access? Why would you want to pay? Yep, definitely. Absolutely, definitely. My immune is rubbish. I hate going to hospital. I just don't know what you catch. Yeah. I think the safest place nowadays to stay healthy is to stay away from hospitals. Lots of stories of people going in there and not coming out again with the super bugs and all that kind of stuff. Right, let's watch the rest of it.
In ahead of people on the waiting lists. Yeah. So, how long have you been over here? How long have?
1 month. 1 month.
1 month.
1 month, yeah.
And where have you come from? What country?
1 month. They've been here 1 month. They've been in the country 1 month and they're getting priority. They're getting priority over people that have paid into the system all their lives, probably 20 years plus, probably been on a waiting list for about 2 to 3 years, and they've been in the country a month and they're already getting to be seen for x-rays and MRI scans. Sometimes that can take up to 6 months for a native Brit to get an MRI scan, to get an x-ray, because they don't have the resources. But it's amazing how the resources become available when it's these people that need to be seen, isn't it? We'll carry on.
What country? Yeah. What country?
My country?
Yeah.
Ethiopia.
What?
Ethiopia.
It's Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Oh, Ethiopia.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
Eritrea.
Where?
Eritrea. Eritrea.
Sophia.
No,
Eritrea.
I can't understand what you're saying. What about you?
Sudan.
Sudan. Afghanistan and
Eritrea.
yeah.
Eritrea.
I can't. What's
Eritrea.
you? Who's that?
Near of Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Near Ethiopia. Yeah. Oh, and where have you come from, sir? What country have you come from?
Sudan.
Sudan. Yeah. Oh. Sorry about that.
No, I'm sure I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah. So, and then my friend. So, what was your X-rays for today then? So, what was you having the X-ray for today? What was you in the hospital for? Have they given you paperwork? Have you got paperwork?
No.
Have any of you got paperwork from the hospital?
And that is that. How sickening is that? So look at some of the comments. Wow, how do they go to the front of the line? They don't have any loyalty to the country. It's blowing my mind. This is just the way the country is now. This is what these people do. This is what our government does. It's, I mean, a lot of these hotels actually have doctors on site. We know this. We know this from auditors like Yorkshire Rose and Active Patriot as well. Also great investigative journalists that go out there and show us what's going on in these places. You know, obviously I've got utmost respect for all these auditors that are going out there and exposing these places and giving us the information we need so we can get it and filter it out to you guys as well. So go check out BB Audits. Great guy, obviously, for doing that. Amazing investigative journalist work there. We pay into the system, yet they not only receive treatment without contributing, but are also prioritised. That's the big stinker about all of this, isn't it? They're actually prioritised over people who've actually paid into the system. These people shouldn't be in the country. They should be deported instantly. They shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be treating them at all. They should be. This is what we need to happen. And I know it's not going to happen because we just don't have the leadership to do it. But this is what needs to happen. The whole thing of they can claim asylum as soon as they step foot off the dinghy needs to end. It should be made quite clear that if you come to this country illegally, you will never be able to claim asylum again. You'll be banned from the country. And if you try to gain entry to the country again, you will just be turned away every single time. And of course, the ultimate way to stop all of this is simply just to turn the boats around when they're in the channel. Just turn them around. Don't even allow them to land in this country. We need the military to be patrolling the beaches of Dover as well, because what a lot of people don't understand, that the boats coming across, that are escorted across, are just the tip of the iceberg. There are also boats that make landfall where they just disappear into the country and we never see them again. There's just too many landing for our authorities to handle them all, because they just can't handle it. They just can't handle it. Instead of just having a British battleship in the channel with its radar saying, right, we've got a boat coming across. Away you go, let's turn around. Australia did it and the boats stopped coming. They started turning the boats around and the boats stopped coming because they realised they weren't going to make landfall. They stopped it from happening. And we need to be doing exactly the same. And this is what our opposition parties should be asking Keir Starmer. The solution is simple, Keir. All you have to do is stop all the incentives to come here, i.e. the free hotels, the free healthcare, the free food, the free phones, the free laptops. You just cut and stop all of that. You stop the incentives, and then you just start turning the boats around. That's how you deal with the situation. You don't target the gangs. You treat the illness at the source. You stop the people from coming. Full stop. That's how you stop these things. You have to be stronger with France. This is what I mean. This is why it won't happen, because we don't have strong leadership. You need to be stronger with France and saying, if you escort any ships into our territory, we will fire on you. We will sink your ships. So it's probably best and really in your own self-interest not to escort any boats into our waters. Otherwise, we will just blow them out of the water. And trust me, Russia does it. Russia does it all the time. They don't allow any of these people to come to their country via the Black Sea at all. They just get turned around and sent packing. So do a lot of other countries. So other countries actually go out there and their border force actively bursts the dinghies coming across. Now, I don't condone that, but other countries have their other methods. They're very, very strong on this. You are not going to make landfall to our country illegally because we don't know who you are. And it will be common sense. Any sane country or sane leadership will be saying, these people are ditching their IDs in the channel on the way over, so we don't know who they are. They're doing this. Therefore, there has to be some kind of agenda going on here. So what you do is, if they've got no ID, you just send them straight back. You send them straight back. You don't even have to pay for airfare. All you have to do is take them on the boat and take them on the little dinghy, take them halfway to where French waters begin, stick them on the little dinghy, say, off you pop, back you go, you're not coming to this country. That's what you have to do. But unfortunately, we don't have any strong leadership to do that. We simply don't. I highly doubt that the Reform Party will do it either, because Nigel Farage, it took some persuading for him to come around to the fact that we actually needed to be deporting all the illegal immigrants, not just the ones arriving after if he does get into number 10. They all need to go. All those that are already here need to be re-immigrated out of the country and gone. Everybody on the terror watch list needs to be gone. Any foreign national in our prisons needs to be gone. That's what needs to happen in this country. But unfortunately, we all know it needs to happen, but we just don't have the leadership to do it. That's where we're stuck, unfortunately. Let's look at some more of the comments. Ban halal, face coverings, and they will want to leave as well. Exactly. You make people want to integrate into your society. And how do you do that? You stop accommodating their barbaric ways by banning face coverings and banning halal meat. They are not compatible with British values. They are not British values, so they need to be banned. If you want people to integrate into your society, that's how you do it, because then you're inviting the right people to come here, aren't you? Hi, Vin. Hope you and family are well. Yes, we're very well, thank you. We are ruled by our enemies. There's no other conclusion. Definitely. Well, if you saw my video of the day, the China syndrome, the Starmer regime's China syndrome, you'll understand what's going on. In a country of animal lovers and hard-fought freedom for all, we have to tolerate halal slaughter and the subjugation of women via hijab for so long. Exactly. It shouldn't be happening in this country. This should be a free and safe haven for people to live in freedom. That's what we fought for centuries. Not to take a giant step backward to the Middle Ages. We return more rubber boats to France than everyone. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. We're getting onto that in a minute. Don't worry about that. Only needs to be done once and the boats will stop. Exactly. Do you eat Chinese or Indian food by any chance? And what's that got to do with it? Oh, it's our resident communist late arrival. So what if I do? What's that got to do with anything? Literally, what has that got to do with anything? Late arrival. Well, banning halal and face coverings work, though. They have not left France. No, but it's making it harder for them to integrate. You need a tough government. If you're going to do this sort of thing, you need a tough government to be backing it up as well. I'd rather live in medieval Europe than in modern day Pakistan. Yes, I think a lot of people would, actually. That's not English culture. What is your point? What's your point you're trying to make? That's not English culture. Don't you think there's a big difference between eating Chinese and Indian food than coming over here and trying to change our culture and our way of life? Because that's a really stupid argument that you're making there. Just so you know, you can eat any kind of food you want going to a different country without permission. It's still wrong. That guy's just crazy. Yeah, exactly. These are the sort of arguments they make, though. These are the batshit crazy arguments they make. Well, you eat Chinese and Indian food, so you're eating something else. So what? So what? I eat burgers as well. Does that mean, you know, I'm against American culture as well? Talking about, you're just talking shit. Late arrival or just slow coach? Starting to think that way. Late arrival, you make me laugh at you rather. Yeah. But your arguments are really poor. They're poor arguments. After everything we've said, the only thing that you can come up with to counter anything that we've just said is that, do you eat Indian or this? Do you eat Chinese or Indian food by any chance? That's all you've got to counter everything that we've been saying. And then you come back and say this. That's not English culture. So what? So if it's not, I don't even know what sort of point you're making with that. It's ridiculous. Right, let's have a look at something else. Right, so this is probably going to trigger late arrival as well, but I don't care. We love triggering these sort of people. Hang on a minute. Later on, last time I ate Chinese, people making it were real refugees from Hong Kong, and they weren't trying to take over the country. Exactly. Exactly, Steve. I don't understand the point that he's trying to make with that. That just because you eat Chinese and Indian food, you must be basing culture somehow. God, these people, really. It's just a really shit argument that only a moron would make, really, isn't it? Right. So the government has been bragging, obviously. Here's the Home Office again. Shemaya baboo, 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 baboo. Breaking, a record number of illegal migrants have been returned to France in the largest group flight yet. The government is scaling up detention and removal of illegal migrants to France. Yeah, but what they don't tell you is, right,
there's like 40 of you
claiming, Shemaya baboo, baboo, baboo is claiming that find up here somewhere. Here we go. This is it, right? So we can see that. Yeah, we can see that. It's on screen, right? So she was claiming all these, but it's like 16 illegal migrants returned this week, and the government are bragging about it. As of yesterday, 490 have come in, clowns. And this is the reality. You say, look, we're sending back 16 people. It's like, yeah, but 36,000 have already come in this year. How many of those have you sent back? Now, they claim they've sent back 36,000. But what they don't tell you is they've only really deported 9,000 because the difference in that went of their own accord. So they've only They've only deported 9,000. The others went of their own accord. So they haven't really deported 36,000 people at all, just 9,000. And 36,000 people have already come into the country as well. So it's negligible. We'll get to that in a minute as well. Just have a look. Right, here we go. Right, we'll have a look and see what the chat is saying. Are you not accepting their culture? What are you on about? What are you on about? So me ordering an Indian or a Chinese is me accepting their culture. What's the point you're trying to make? Do you want to come in and chat? Do you want to come in and chat with me and make your point? Because I would love for you to come in and make your point live. I'll drop the link in the chat. You can come in and make your point. Because this isn't an echo chamber. It's not an echo chamber. You can come in and make your point and we can have a discussion about it. If you want to come in late arrival, you can do, and we can discuss it. You can tell me how this whole food thing is relevant and make your point. Yeah? Taking the piss out of someone's name is childish. No, just grow a thicker skin. Just grow a thicker skin. No, hell no, and no thank you with a cherry on top. Yep. I assume I must have blocked this late arrival person on another channel. I can't see the comments. Right, okay. Yeah. Late arrival. As I said, we took curry off Indians in the 19th, in like Queen Victoria's used to eat the stuff. Yeah. We had an empire. A lot of these people forget we had an empire. So when you have an empire, you bring lots of stuff from those countries to the native land and make use of it. There are videos from almost everything on YouTube. Perhaps you could watch some trolling videos as you're currently woefully pathetic at trolling. Yes. This is what happens though, right? That they come mouthing off in the comments, then I offer them to come in and discuss their points of view, and then they run away. And what will happen is the same thing's happening to Tom Fury at the minute, Zero News. He's getting absolutely dogpiled on by communists. We did a live stream yesterday, both myself and Tom, invited them to come in and debate us, and they wouldn't do it. They were nowhere to be seen. They were still commenting on the videos that he'd made instead of coming to the live stream because they're cowards. She is as English as you are. What are you talking about? Come on, late arrival. Put your money where your mouth is and come in and debate. There you go. Links in the chat again. Just come in. State your case and your point. If you are strong in your convictions, you'll be able to defend them. You'll be able to come in this live stream and defend your convictions, your beliefs with ease. The word you should have concentrated on was we took. Yes, we did. We were an empire. We took things, but we also gave things as well. We civilized countries as well, because a lot of Indians were practicing barbaric practices. We stopped all of that. We stopped slavery because we had an empire, because we were strong. We stopped slavery. We gave the world lots of things. And it's amazing how you people, right? You always bring up the British Empire, but never mention the Ottoman Empire or any other empires that arose around the world. It's only the British one. Why is that? We gave back, exactly. We gave India our legal system, which is something they didn't have before. We built up their infrastructure. We gave them civilization, which is something they didn't have before. I'm pretty sure the British Empire brought medicine. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Or the Arab slave trade. Yeah, that's still going on today. They never mention the fact that the Arab slave trade is still going on today, all across Africa. That's never conveniently mentioned, though. Compared to the Belgians, the Portuguese, the British Empire was pretty humane. Exactly. No, nobody's denying that it wasn't wholly good, but that it did more good than it did wrong. Put it that way. The Ottomans, exactly. We stopped slavery, gave your head a wobble. This is how uninformed you are. Should we go and take a look at how we stopped slavery? So you're saying we didn't stop slavery? Is that what you're saying? This is how uninformed you are. You're not educated. Because what you've been doing is you've been listening to all those Marxist lecturers, all those Marxist teachers that don't teach you history. So you don't believe, so late arrival, you don't believe that we stopped slavery, right? Okay, let's bring some facts upon the screen, shall we? Right, sorry, we're abandoning the planned the planned program. We're going to go and teach late arrival some history, right? Let's bring up. Here we go. Right, so let's bring up some interesting facts for late arrival, shall we? Let's do this. You're about to get a history lesson you should have got a long time ago. Late arrival. Okay, so let's have a look at this, right? So Slavery Abolition Act, right? 1833. The abolition of slavery in Britain was primarily achieved through Slavery Abolition Act 18. I can't get my words around that today. Abolition. Oh God. Which came into effect on August the 1st, 1834, freeing around 800,000 enslaved individuals in the British Empire, including the Caribbean, South Africa. This act followed the abolition of the Slave Trade Act 1807, which had prohibited the trading of enslaved people, but it did not end slavery itself. The movement to abolish slavery was driven by various factors, including pressure from abolitionists like William Wilberforce, public sentiment, and evidence of inhuman conditions faced by enslaved people. So even back in 1833 and 1807, things were starting to change. We were forcing change in the world. Late arrival. Yeah. Slavery had been abolished in England by 1772. In May 1772, Lord Mansfield's judgment in the Somerset case emancipated a slave who had been brought to England from Boston in the province of Massachusetts Bay. And I think that act stated that any slave that stepped foot into England was instantly a free person. The minute they stepped foot into England, that's what that did. And that's as early as 1772. So I don't know where you got your education from. Late arrival. Thanks, Jojo. Just sub because I like this channel. Thank you. Late arrival who actually started slavery. Yeah, exactly. Who profited from slavery? I'll give you a bit of a clue. It was African kings, African slavers that made lots of money from enslaving their own people that are still doing it to this day in Africa as part of the Arab slave trade. Don't want to talk about that though, do you? Because that's a little bit against the narrative, isn't it? English ethnicity, which is a people based on shared culture, language, ancestry, and had loyalty to the flag. Yep. What's history? Read about the history of slavery in Zanzibar, even into the early 20th century. The Royal Navy was still intercepting slave ships operated under the rules of Zanzibar. Exactly. We actually indebted ourselves ending the slave trade. In fact, we'll have a look at that as well. Let's take a look at that. UK. Let's have a look at this. 2015. Right. So everybody who was paying taxes right up till 2015, you helped to end the slave trade because your taxes were still paying off the debt. As it says here, the debt repaid for ending the slave trade in the UK was completed in 2015. The UK government borrowed 2 million to compensate slave owners for the abolition of slavery, which took until 2015 to be fully repaid by taxpayers. So everybody alive today, even though they didn't own slaves, helped to end the slave trade. Some more facts for you, late arrival there. I know you're probably not going to like these facts, but you seem to have disappeared. You seem to have disappeared from the comments. I wonder why that is. Is that because you don't like the truth? Is that because you don't like the facts that are being presented to you because your bullshit, Marxist, lefty ideology just can't stand up to scrutiny? Oh dear. You see, in a little bit of research, a few seconds on the internet, I can find out everything I need to know about the slave trade. And now you've disappeared because the truth hurts. And this is what you always do. This is what lefties always do. When presented with facts, they disappear. They evaporate. This stuff is like a crucifix to a vampire. It really is to a lefty. It's like pouring holy water on them. It's like putting salt on a slug. They just melt when facts are presented to them. Hey, BB Audits, I've just played your video, mate. It's amazing. You did an excellent job regarding that hospital, mate. I gave you credit for it as well, mate. Absolutely amazing work. We need more people like you out on the street doing a great job, mate. Hats off to you. We're just educating pork at the minute. We had a lefty in who said that Britain didn't abolish the slave trade. Is it just the internet? It doesn't have doors to slam in a paddy? Yeah. Is it just, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The lefties, they just can't stand up to scrutiny. The minute they get facts, they just disappear. Gone. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant work, mate. Keep it up. But yes, it seems that late arrival has disappeared because facts were being presented and they didn't like it. There you go. Amazing, isn't it? Right. I think we've done it. Done educating late arrival. I think we've done educating him. Yeah, I should really post a link. What I'll do is I'll post a link to his original video in the comments below when the things. So there was a slave trade, yes, but guess what? Late arrival, the slave trade had been going on for centuries before any European set foot on the continent of Africa. The Arab slave trade had been going on for thousands of years. Yeah. Do you want to take a look at that as well? It says 16th century, that's not true. Right, so this is what we've got here. Right. So it says 16th century, that's not true. Slavery in Africa has been practiced for thousands of years. So at first line, so that's wrong there. They shouldn't be, that shouldn't be, that's deliberately put 16th century because it's not true. Slavery in Africa has been practiced for thousands of years, with its roots tracing back to ancient civilizations. The transatlantic slave trade, which began in the 16th century, was a significant and brutal aspect of slavery in Africa, lasting up until the 19th century, which is remarkably less than thousands of years beforehand from the Arab slave trade. It's amazing how you focus on these like 300 years when you should be focusing on the whole thing itself, the whole slave trade, which was going on for thousands of years, involving African kings selling their own people into slavery and that sort of thing. And we'll even get onto the Barbary slave trade, if you like, where the Arab slavers were coming up into European countries and taking slaves. Over 1 million European slaves taken during that time from Ireland, from the south of England. Yeah, should we talk about that as well? Should we talk about that late arrival as well? Or is this just inconvenient for your narrative? Let's look at the Barbary slave trade as well, shall we? Let's look at that as well. The Barbary slave trade. The Barbary slave trade in the UK involved the capture and sale of British citizens. Wow, look at that late arrival. By Barbary connoisseurs operating from North Africa ports. This trade was a significant threat to the maritime traffic in the UK, particularly the English Channel and the southwest of England. The corsairs targeted not only English ships, but also those from other countries, including from Italy, Spain, and Portugal. The trade was marked by capture of seamen, fishermen, and coastal villagers, with the majority being from the Mediterranean region. The Barbary slave trade came to an end in the early 19th century after the First and Second Barbary Wars, which ended the trade by the 1830s. Imagine that. Over 1 million people taken to slavery. White people. Late arrival. Wow, imagine that. Imagine those facts. Imagine those facts. Yeah? Hey, how you doing? Being serious, I wonder where late arrival learned this stuff. He learnt it from his lefty lecturers, from batshit crazy Marxist teachers at school that didn't teach any of this stuff to them because they've just been brainwashed into believing that the British Empire was just this like an evil empire out of Star Wars. When the reality is, in the grand scale of things, the British Empire was probably the least evil empire that's ever existed on this planet. That's the truth of the matter. There are far worse empires that existed, like the Ottoman Empire, for instance. Oh yes, an Islamic empire that was brutal to slaves, that took slaves. Yeah. Right, so we've absolutely carpet bombed late arrival with the truth. So let's see what they've got to say. As an Englishman, I have PTSD from my ancestors being enslaved. I demand reparation. Exactly, that's a great thing. Why aren't we demanding reparations from Africans who may have enslaved our ancestors during that time? Or better still, why don't we ask for reparations from the Italians because of the Roman Empire invading England and making slaves of our people? Why don't we do that? Because it's ridiculous. Because there's nobody alive today that was involved in that. Just like there's nobody alive today that was involved in the transatlantic slave trade. They're all dead. And their legacy is that we learned that slavery is wrong, which is why we abolished it. And it wasn't just like it was just abolished yesterday. It was abolished centuries ago because we learned that doing that was inhumane and it was wrong. This is why lefties live in the past. They have to go to the past to find things and say, look at what we did in the past. We have to feel guilty for things that happened hundreds of years ago that people today have absolutely no control over. And like I just showed earlier, that people alive today actually took part in the abolition of slavery. We paid the debt off. So we helped to end slavery with our taxes. There are people alive today that helped to pay off the ending of slavery. And once again, late arrival has done a runner because they can't take the facts of the situation. Right, let's go and look at something else. Now we've thoroughly educated late arrival. Let's go and have a look at some other things. Let's get back to the scheduled, planned live stream on all of this. Let's have a look. Oh, back again. Here we go. When you learn to say the word, so you're not going to come at my arguments. You're just going to make fun. What was you saying earlier about people making fun of your name, but you're just going to pull up the fact that I mispronounced abolation because I can't say it. I have dyslexia, by the way. I have trouble with words. Now you're a very, very naughty person. You've been marginalising somebody with a disability. Now you're going to lose brownie points from your Marxist mates for marginalising somebody with a disability. Naughty, naughty. Late arrival. Triggered? I'm not triggered at all. I'm just laughing at your stupid argument. And that's all you've got is to say triggered because I provided all the evidence. And the only thing that you could do to try and come back at me was to make fun of me not being able to say a word. That's all you've got. That's all you've got. Vapid, irrelevant, and just nothingness. And that's all you lefties have always got is that, nothing. You come with nothing. That's why you lack the courage to come into this live stream and debate me on things, because you've got nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Facts are your kryptonite, late arrival. Well, whatever takes your fancy. It might be funny to you because you haven't got a cohesive thought in your mind. Late arrival has no answers now, it seems. No, they don't, because once you give them the facts and the evidence, they've got nothing. Yeah, well, we've been laughing at you the most, haven't we? We've been laughing at you the most with these stupid arguments because you're uneducated, because you're some brainwashed Marxist, most likely, lefty, that facts just go over your head. Facts just go over your head. So we've been laughing the most at you, late arrival. So yeah, you've been very good entertainment. You're like on, you know, we got rid of the fake police officer, but it seems we found a new court jester now. You're the new court jester for the channel, late arrival. So you can come with your stupid arguments and we can all laugh at you, okay? And thank you for helping us heal. Yeah, good one. Later on, we'll get back with your friends at Antifa. Yeah, more than likely true. Why, thank you, Joe James. You did amazing, sir, on the facts. Great show, sir. Thank you for that. Right, let's get back to resume a normal service, and we'll go and have a look at some more things that I want to cover before. Right, so I want to take a look at this, because this just highlights the danger that our country is in really at the minute. I think I'm living rent-free in your head. No, you're just a moron that came onto my channel and we're making fun of you because you make stupid arguments. Once this live stream is over, I'll forget all about you until the next time you come in and make a fool of yourself again. I think I'm living rent-free in your head because you're the one that keep coming to my live streams, don't you? Trying to get your point across. Really, really poorly, by the way. And don't say this is an echo chamber, because I've offered to have you in several times. I've posted a link. You just didn't take the offer. You didn't take the invite because you can't defend your positions. You lack the intelligence to defend your positions. So you hide in the comment sections under false names, no face. I show my face. People know my name. I go on camera. I show my face all the time. You people can't do that because you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed because you know your ideology is shit and you can't stand by it. That's why. You're not distracting me. You're just a clown for the chat now, because I'm done with you. I'm done with you now. We had a little fun. Now you're just somebody in the chat. That's it. The chat will deal with you from now on. They'll just laugh at you. You're their toy now. Yeah, that chat. I give you a new toy. Late arrival's your new toy. Play with them as you will. Right, let's get back to the live stream. So this is here. This is just highlights. This is from Basil the Great. Birmingham Imam says, when Muslims are surrounded by non-Muslims, the Quran legislates for jihad. For the safety of our country, mass deportations are required. These are the sort of people that we've allowed to propagate in our country, and they are a real danger.
When disbelievers, when there is a society of Muslims that live in a community as Muslims, and the disbelievers that may surround that community, the Quran has legislated something known as al-jihad, which we would refer to more specifically al-jihad al-qitali, the armed struggle or armed warfare against those elements. When disbelievers, when there is...
So does that sound like a community that's integrating into our society? When they say they're surrounded by non-believers, because that's how they regard people like me and you. If you're non-Muslim, that's how these people regard you. You're non-believers, you're less than cattle, and you have to wage war against them, armed warfare against them. And these are the sort of people we've allowed into this country who don't want to integrate. All they want is violence. That's all they want to do. The reason they're here is they don't like our culture, they don't like our traditions. They are here to take over. They are here to conquer. That's what they're trying to do. And this is what these people are talking about here. And this is a regular occurrence in mosques up and down the country who have these type of hate preachers preaching to their congregations all the time, radicalizing the next generation of jihadis to commit terror attacks in this country. That's what we're dealing with. I'll look at some of the comments. Has he popped again or has he disappeared again? Yeah, he's gone now. Apparently, Cornish people were snatched from outside their homes under cover of night by the Barbary Pirates. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. A lot of Irish were taken as well, like it said in the article there. A lot of fishermen, a lot of merchant vessels were actually taken as well in the Barbary slave trade. Late arrival, think you need to do your own research. Yes, well, they'll never do research. All they've got is ideology. That's all they've got. Vindicator, it's okay, bro. This is a good thing. It shows them who they are and what they are. Like, this is the way to wake the loons up. I agree. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You got an email address. Going to invite you on for a Friday show. I'm not, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to drop my email address here. I am on Twitter. You can DM me on Twitter, DarkKnightDA, at DarkKnightDA on Twitter. Go and look for me on there. Spartan Militia on Twitter. Go look for me. Actually, I'll just send you my link, actually. Anybody can go and follow me on Twitter. Actually, I should really be promoting this a bit more. Right. See if we can do it on here. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Copy and paste that. There we go. I'll drop it in the chat. You can go and take a look at it. So this is my Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Go follow me on Twitter. If you want to DM me on there, you can do. If you follow me, I will follow you back. Daz Pierce, I will follow you back, mate. And we can have a chat, definitely. So yeah, it's been fun educating. Late arrival. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link in the chat to this. Anybody wants to come in, this is what I always do at the end of the live stream. By the way, before I do this, just want to make it clear, right? This is going to be a regular thing on a Monday now. It's going to be 1 o'clock live stream on a Monday because people ask for this. And then on a Friday, it will be, unless I'm doing another live stream or anything else like that, it will be a live stream at 7 p.m. on a Friday night. So I'm encompassing both parts of my audience. There are people that like an afternoon stream. There are people that like an evening stream after they come back from work. So I'm trying to compromise with both groups in doing 2 streams a week. There might be more than one. There might be more than 2 streams a week. There might be the odd off-the-cuff stream that pops up every now and again. But those 2 are going to be the ones that are set in stone. So there's a one on a Monday at 1 o'clock, and there's a one on the Friday that will be at 7 p.m. Just so you all know. Okay. I'll drop the link in the chat. Anybody wants to come in and have a chat, you can do. You're more than welcome to. Thank you, Angel. Thank you for that. I've learned through life experience that the narcissist, any supply there is to Hoover, yes, they do. Definitely. I've learned, yeah, I've just seen that one. Right, let's take a look at Twitter. See if there's anything else we can look at, any recent news that we can have a look at. See if there's anything else going on. Oh yeah, I wanted to show this. This is probably going to be a good thing to show. This just highlights how dangerous this country is. And there's two things I want to show, actually. I went through it on Tom's channel yesterday, but I want to show this as well. But we'll show this first. Right, so onto that. Right, so this, I'll just pause it a minute, and then we'll get back to it. Right, so apparently, a man in Croydon attempted to throw acid at somebody. The attacker ended up getting the chemicals all over himself and was arrested after the fire service hosed him down. We are under attack. These are the dangers we face every day in this country now, are things like this. We'll just play the video and have a look at it.
So allegedly, a guy has sprayed members of staff and got it all over his hands. He's probably going to be arrested for it. So, karma's a bitch. What can I say? There we go. So there's absolutely police everywhere, there's fire ambulance everywhere. So, yeah. Acid! Don't play with acid and certainly don't throw it at people, because when you get it on your hands, you'll end up like me. There we go. My goodness.
So that was that. So that's what we're facing in this country as well. So I want to cover this as well. What is this? Something new. Britain teams report Bradford threats to. What? Two-tier police and the invasion of Britain continues. Import in Bradford threatens to shoot police. Get them out. Or okay, let's have a look at this one then.
All right, Ella, how are you? Hey, you know this one saying, yeah? I'm homeless, yeah? I can't wear no loose. Fucking Jordan trains. I can't wear. I don't have right to wear. You need to what did we arrest you for last time? Doesn't matter. Wearing Jordan trains. How come you're homeless? Right. You want me to be crackhead in this market? Why don't you tell them the full story to what you got arrested for? Doesn't matter. You fuck off. Tell me. I'm asking you. Look, she's crying, yeah? Look, this bastard rest is laughing for her. Are you laughing for local people? Excuse me. Speak up. Let me see what the fuck. Speak. Go shoot. You shoot. Go shoot. You shoot. Yeah, you shoot. Yeah. You're gonna come with me. You're gonna shoot me? I'll shoot in there. You are. You're gonna shoot me? You're gonna shoot me?
No, somebody's
you can't. Don't help it. Don't shoot. You're gonna shoot me? No. You stand back, please. You know, Hitler's gonna proud of you. Hitler.
What the hell have we let into this country? Seriously. What have we done to our country to allow people like this in that do this sort of thing? You know, a lot of people, quite rightly so, a lot of people hate the police, but can you imagine their job on a daily basis where your commanding officers don't actually allow you to do your job for fear of being called racist, or you're under constant scrutiny? I don't envy their job one little bit. I know there are some complete arseholes in the police force. Fully get that. We see them all the time. But you can't help but sympathise with them sometimes when you see this sort of stuff. This is stuff they have to put up with on a daily basis. And I know exactly what they're going through, because when I was a security officer, I used to see it myself as well. The country has become very, very violent. It really has. When I was working on the doors, it was violent. You saw violence. There was fighting every time. And then when I was doing retail in the week, it became more or less like being on the doors, because you were stopping drunk people from coming into shops. You were stopping them from coming in with weapons and all kinds of stuff. And it's just gradually gotten worse and worse and worse. And this is what I said on X yesterday, that the trouble with our police now is that they're trained to operate in a high trust society. The thing with our country now is it's not a high trust society anymore. It's a low trust, dangerous society. And we need a police force that matches that. And going into that, this is why I'm going to show this next thing in a minute, because this kind of highlights it. This highlights that it's not so much the police officers, it's the training that's lacking for them. They're just not well trained. They're just not well trained to deal with this. And this is why, historically, police used to be recruited straight from the army. People that were leaving the army went into the police force because they were coming out with operational knowledge. They were coming out with streetwise, head on a swivel type instincts for certain situations that were very good for being on the streets of this country. You need that instinct. I think Steve will agree with me on this. You need certain people with a certain type of instinct that have a feeling and know that something isn't right. That's what you need. And you can't train that. You can't train that into people. That's only gained from experience of being in places where you have to be on a constant state of alert and constant awareness around you. That is learnt over time. So let's have a look at this, because I want to get Steve's go and have a look at the bookmark. That's messages. Messages, bookmarks, right? Because this was from 2023. This isn't recent. It was just that the body cam footage was just recently released. So it's this situation here. I'm sure Steve's probably familiar with this one, but we'll have a look at it anyway. Right, let's see, is that actually sharing? No, it's not. Right. Share screen. Can we, that's better. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Right, so I want to show that again. Let's see if this is actually on there. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, right, okay. Just to make sure it's. So this was actually 2023, as you can see from the bottom of footage here. 2023 at 4:30 in the afternoon. So we'll look at it and then we'll go through it together. So pay note to the arrow here, pointing this gentleman here. And notice the position of this guy. And the thing that I've noticed is there's nobody watching this guy's back as he's talking to this guy. There's no other police officer watching his back. He's dealing with the situation on his own. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just him on the. Maybe he was just the first one on the scene. I don't know. But there are more police officers there. So let's play it. So this guy was not aware either. He's the first one that gets it. This guy was totally oblivious.
Caesar! 6031, officer stabbed.
Yeah, get him down here now.
Right, so this was an ambush. This was a fake accident, because you've got to ask yourself a question in this situation. We'll rewind that back. Right, we'll go through it. So there's a guy, right? Random person just walking up, just happens to walk upon a scene like this. To me, this is a setup. If I was there, I'm thinking there's something not right about this. And there's a police officer here with his back. You can see him there. He's there. Back to this guy, not looking. No operational awareness at all. He's watching the situation here. Not watching behind him at all. And obviously this happens. He gets attacked. He gets stabbed. The officer gets stabbed in the neck. He was all right. These officers were given bravery medals, by the way. But in my opinion, they messed up. They messed up here. Now, if this had been military personnel, they would have been more operationally aware in this situation, because 9 times out of 10, they'd have felt something was off about the situation, if you get my meaning. So the comments are saying. See what Steve's initial reaction is. But to me, Steve, right, this looks like I'll have to plug in the laptop. It's telling me it's got low battery. I'll have to plug it in. This could affect the microphone, so tell me if it does. There we go. Right, this looks to me like an ambush, because a random person with a knife just happens upon police and then attacks them. It just doesn't seem real to me. This seems planned. This seems like it was orchestrated to bring police into the situation where they could be distracted and then attacked. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know what anybody else is saying about this. It just looks like an ambush. Yeah, your situational awareness, exactly. Well, operational awareness as well. Head on a swivel. It's like once you're out on duty and you're doing a patrol in Iraq, you're focused, you're laser focused on everything around you. Absolutely. You're constantly moving around. You're constantly looking around behind you. You're not standing in one position all the time, oblivious to what's behind you. You know, every now and again, just take a look behind you to see what's coming up behind you and that sort of thing. And believe it or not, just doing that can save your life. It really can. And this is what happens. You know, I feel sorry for the police officers in this situation, but it just shows that they're not trained to deal with the threat, the growing threat in this country. That they're really not. And this is why we need to return to a state of the armed forces being employed in the police. It's just what needs to happen. Yeah, Steve. It could be a setup. They're testing how police respond. It could well be that. If you live in a city or town, prepare your home and family. Mass groups of immigrants will soon start storming the streets. British state are encouraging disruption to create digital ID and control. Exactly. A lot of people have been saying, why are they importing all these fighting age men into the country? It's for this reason. It's to give them a reason to implement the digital ID. It's the crisis solution, isn't it? Situation again. They would happily arrest you for a mean tweet. 30 a day, isn't it now? Yeah, 12,000 people a year now, estimated, are arrested for hurty words on the internet. Hello, Tamara Green. How are you doing? From Mississippi. Nice one. So what do you think? What do you think to the state of the UK? We're in a real mess here. We really are a real mess. Lucky for you, you've just got President Trump that's trying to sort your mess out. At least you've actually got somebody in charge trying to sort things out. We've just got an absolute shower of, I don't know what to call them. Hello, Doc. How you doing? You was on Tom's stream yesterday. Danger zone, yeah. Probably don't want to come to the UK for a holiday. Just saying. But it's more than 30 days, wasn't it? That starts from, yeah. That there's idiots fighting Trump here. Yeah, I've been watching that as well. You're very, very close to civil war over there as well, by the looks of things. Angel, great advice. The streets are becoming dangerous. Yes, they are. Going to get bad here. I think it's going to get bad everywhere pretty soon, to be honest with you. Yeah, most probably. Let's look back at some other comments. New comments. I'm late to the live. Okay. Problem, reaction, solution. We know their mind game tactics. Exactly. Yes, he does. He's a massive problem worldwide with his funding of far left, Marxist nut jobs, Antifa. I hope President Trump deals with him pretty soon. Gets him up on charges, arrest the guy, because he needs it. He's an absolute boil on humanity, that man. Vin, that at least Trump is doing something unlike Starmer. Yeah, exactly. Me too, yeah, exactly. Well, they deemed the legend dialect as far right. Problem, reaction, yeah. Right, guys. I am going to end this stream here. We've been going for an hour and a half. So, thanks for coming in. And I'll just read this last comment by Steve. Trump needs to get his son to. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Last comments, how people defend themselves. You form communities. That's how you defend yourselves. That's how we defended ourselves in the past. Form strong communities. If you have strong communities, you're harder to be targeted. You're harder to be singled out. That's my advice in that situation. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. It's been great having you on. It's been a great live stream again, having you all here, talking to you all and educating late arrival, as always. So without further ado, this is Vindicator, sign off. I shall see you all in the next video tomorrow morning, and I shall see you all soon in the next live stream. Don't forget, Fridays at 7 p.m, Mondays at 1 p.m, live streams. This is Vindicator, signing off.